So when you write the TypeScript code here, we see that every TypeScript code here, it will be compiled back to JavaScript. And to illustrate that, I'll use this arrow here. So whenever you are writing a TypeScript code here, it will be compiled back to JavaScript because your browser cannot understand about TypeScript, and also things like frameworks like Node.js or runtime like Node.js won't understand about TypeScript. So it must be compiled back to JavaScript. And you may ask yourself, what is the importance of TypeScript then? And this is why I want to demonstrate this. So in here, in my VS Code here, I had already created a folder called TypeScript. So first thing first, we'll create here a TypeScript or a TypeScript file, and I call this index.ts, just like that. And also I will also create here another one for JS, that is, so for JavaScript, that is. So let me add another one here. So we have these two here. So we have for the index.ts and we have index.js. So I want to demonstrate here. So I want to demonstrate here. So if we write here a code, let's say a function in this case, and I will say a function and I will call it add. So this function here should accept argument that is number 1 and number 2 here. So in here you need to return sum of these two, so num1 plus num2, just like that. So now I want to console log here and console.log, and then in here I will add number 3 and number 2 and number 3 here. So I want first of all call this add function and then give it argument of 2 and 3. So you can see here what you need to have as a result is 5, because remember this function is returning 5. So let's run this here, because already I had opened the terminal. I had the terminal open in this folder here. So I will just say node and I will say index.js, just like that. So let me run this, and you can see here we have a result of 5 here. So let me do something else. So in here, if I want to add like 3, just like that, so and then save, let us run this again. So if we run this again here, you can see we have 2, 3. So what have we done here? So this is called concatenation, because it has taken 2 and added it to 3, or it has just taken 3 and it has taken 2 and add the 3 just after the 2, so that you have 2 and 3. So that is called concatenation. So this means that you are not this is concatenation, but it need to accept number here. So I want to do the same for the TypeScript. So let me copy this here and paste it in this file here. So if you add here, you already see we have some problems here. So first thing, it is telling us that duplicate, we have a duplicate function implementation here, but that is not actually what I wanted to show you. At this time here, I would just say add num first of all, and let me call this add num here. So first thing first, what you need, you'll see in TypeScript here, if we try to run this code here, so let me try to run through this tsc, and then I'll say index.ts, just like that. Let's see what will happen. So if we try and run this code here, let's see what the problem, what will happen. So you can see here we have already we have run the code, but nothing that have happened. So if you come here again, you'll see we have this duplicate function duplicate function implementation, and this is one of the errors that I want to avoid. So let me first of all close this and see if this is where the error is coming from. So delete that, and in here you can see now. Let us try and run this, but this time I will be using ts node here so that it compiles and run it. So we have index.ts. So if we try and run this, let's see what will happen. So you can already see here we are being given error by this TypeScript, and this is telling us that num1 implicitly has an any type, and num2 has implicitly has an any type. This means that you have not defined what these functions should have. So to eliminate on this error here, what you should do is to add types, and to add types here, you add a number. We say it is a number here, and also in this one I want it to be a number, so this one should be two numbers here. So when you add these ones here, you can see we have errors. You have error here, and this one is telling us that this argument of type string is not assignable to the parameter of type number. This means that here you need to add a number and not string that is. So when you do this way and then try and run again, you see that we will not have an error again. Let's see. So if you run here, you can see now we have the correct answer and we are not running into errors. And this is the main reason of using the index, this TypeScript here. You can see it is checking for us an code before even we start compiling it or running it, so that you avoid some errors. And this is one of the advantages of using TypeScript. It helps you to just avoid errors in the runtime, because remember it is statically typed, and thus it checks your code very keenly. Remember, if it was JavaScript, we couldn't have any error because it could have concatenated for us these two numbers. So I hope that you are seeing why we need to use TypeScript, and let me end this video here so that we see how to install the TypeScript then.